From the National Information Technology Development Agency, Nitda. This is Nitda Impact, your guide to a digital Nigeria.
The digital economy presents us the perfect opportunity to ensure equality among people living with disabilities, or preferably people living with special needs. This is because people living with special needs can develop skills that can fit into their sedentary lifestyles and based on their specific capabilities, given the magnitude of the disability. One of the core pillars of the National Digital Economy Policy and Strategy is digital literacy and skills by providing policy backing for massive training of Nigerians from all walks of life in order to enable them obtain digital literacy and other digital skills. On today's episode, we are looking at Nitda, powering the new year with a renewed zeal regarding IT training for people living with special needs. I am Kinyose Waboke, and this is Nitda Impact.
This is Nitda Impact, your guide to a digital Nigeria.
You can be a part of this program by logging onto our website at www.nitda.gov.ng or all our social media handles displayed right on your screen. Let's begin with what's making the news headlines this week. Nigeria's Minister of Communications and Digital Economy launches national policy on 5G and hands over spectrum allocation to NCC for onward deployment. DG Nitda extols traditional institutions' role in harnessing ICT benefits in Nigeria. Here's the news proper. The Honorable Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Pantami, said the 5G network will help make Nigeria's economy more competitive in the fourth industrial revolution. Professor Pantami was speaking at the launch of the national policy on 5G networks and the handover of spectrum allocation for 5G deployments. Nitda Impact Senior Correspondent Sophia Ogeze has details.
The Honorable Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Pantami, has launched a national policy on 5G networks and handed over the spectrum allocation of 5G deployment to the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC. The minister, who doubles as the chairman of the National Frequency Management Council, noted that the 5G deployment in the country will make Nigeria's economy more competitive in the fourth industrial revolution.
Which has been launched by my principal, President Muhammadu Buhari, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Professor Pantami, who reiterated that studies have proven that the 5G is safe and has no link with COVID-19 pandemic, also called on the state government to consider the 5G deployment beyond the issue right of way. He said the deployment of 5G is part of the fourth industrial revolution, which is centered on the virtual world, adding that a total of 148 spectrum allocations have been made since 2019.
Furthermore, as we all know that our journey for the 5G deployment in Nigeria commenced in November 2019. To be specific, on 25th of November 2019, with the first trial conducted here in Abuja. From that event, the second stage of it was reviewing the report of the trial that took place in Abuja and few other cities in the country.
On the handover, he explained that the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, and the Nigerian Broadcasting Commission, NBC, will manage commercial spectrum, while the ministry will handle non-commercial spectrum. The minister said the allocation of bulk spectrum to the NCC is based on its regulatory rules, adding that the NCC will use its powers to hand over to MTN and MAPFA, the winners of the bidding exercise.
I therefore hand over the 3.5 gigahertz spectrum, frequency spectrum, bulk allocation to the Nigerian Communications Commission boss chairman and the chief executive officer of the commission. Both of them are here with me. At the end is the secretary of the council for a very successful option. Thank you.
Earlier in his welcome address, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, Mr. Bitrus Bakwenabasu, said the 5G network is an advanced technology and an improvement on the 4G network. He commended Professor Pantami for ensuring that the national policy on 5G network is successfully implemented.
This makes it very suitable for the deployment of emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, big data, smart cities, and so on.
In his presentation on the benefits of the 5G deployment in Nigeria, the Chief Executive Officer of Tech Consult, Engineer Shola Taylor, listed the features of 5G to include speed, capacity, monitoring of consumers' products, national security, etc. According to him, youths and businesses in various sectors such as health, transport, broadcasting, real estate, banking, and finance will benefit immensely from the 5G networks.
It is only proper for me to congratulate the federal government, particularly the Nigerian Communications Commission and its various experts, on the success of the 3.5 gigahertz spectrum auction, the transparency and professionalism that was displayed in the process shows that Nigeria as a country, and NCC in particular, has acquired the necessary skills, competence, to successfully organize such a sensitive and strategic auction process.
To maximize the benefit of the 5G network, the CEO further called on the federal government to promote the use of 5G in all sectors and advised the NCC to create awareness, provide regulatory support, and avoid negative tax. He added that youth should be encouraged and educated on the use of the 5G network.
It is estimated that by the year 2025, there will be about 75 billion devices, Internet of Things, that will be communicating with each other. And that is worth millions of dollars in terms of business.
The chairman of the governing board of the NCC, Professor Adeolu Akande, says the advantages of the 5G network towards achieving the national digital economic policy and strategy for a digital Nigeria cannot be overemphasized.
As you know, the 5th generation network is an enhancement of the previous generations of mobile networks.
On his part, the executive vice chairman of the NCC, Professor Umar Garba Dambata, expressed gratitude to the chairman of the governing board of the commission and other stakeholders for their role in the successful implementation of the 5G policy.
And I align to every comment that has been made about the auction by previous speakers. I don't want to repeat the success story of that very, very important event.
In his remark, the Director General of the National Information Technology Development Agency, Nitda, Kashfu Inwa CCIE, said the 5G will facilitate the attainment of the country's digital economic target.
And the 5G is going to provide a high-octane gasoline for our digital economy, because everything to do with digital economy is going to run on the 5G.
In their respective goodwill messages, the Managing Director of Galaxy Backbone, Professor Muhammadu Bello Abubakar, and the Director General of the Nigerian Identity Management Commission, NIMSI, Engineer Aliu Abubakar Aziz, congratulated Professor Pantami for championing the 5G policy and ensuring its successful implementation. They also commended the NCC for ensuring that Nigeria joins the list of countries that have successfully implemented the 5G policy.
Again, congratulating you for another effort-making event, that is the launching and presentation of the 5G spectrum.
And we believe that this will really help in our own activity.
High point of the event was a presentation of the national policy on 5G network and the handing over of spectrum allocation for 5G to the Nigerian Communications Commission for onward deployment to the winners. It will be recalled that Monfab MTN emerged winners in the Nigerian's 3.5 GHz spectrum auction after 11 rounds of bidding that lasted 8 hours on the 13th day of December 2021. Sophia Ogezi, reporting for Nitda Impact.
Traditional institutions and rulers in the country have been advised to harness the opportunities available in the IT and ICT, as no one should be left out of the fourth industrial revolution. The Director General of the National Information Technology Development Agency, Nitda, Kashifu Inua CCIE, made the call during a stakeholders engagement program in Kano State. Here's Nitda Impact correspondent Julia Dagiwa to complete the report.
The Emir of Bichi, Alhaji Nasru Ado Bayero, has described the importance and the timelines the ICT initiative of Nitda has impacted and improved lives and the economy of Nigeria. He said the Bichi Emirate is taking the lead through youth engagement in digital knowledge and skills for self-reliance. He added that the engagement have brought unity amongst youth from different levels. The Emir said this during a stakeholders engagement program with the team creating opportunities, breaking boundaries towards digitalization and entrepreneurial evolution in Nigeria.
We at Bichi Emirate Council have long realized the importance and impact of ICT training in generating self-employment and self-reliance. It was for this reason we initiated in collaboration with 9 Mobile Limited a youth development and empowerment program for 1,000 youth in Bichi Emirates tagged Digital Bichi Emirate Education and Entrepreneurship Initiative.
The aim is to bring together ICT and digital innovation ecosystem to pool knowledge, experience, and expertise on how best to harness the opportunities in the digital space. The meeting is expected to bring solutions, articulate strategies, and extend services to all stakeholders, especially at the grassroots levels. The Director General of the National Information Technology Development Agency, Nitda, Kashifu Inua CCIE, who was represented by the Director in charge of Nitda Zonal Offices, Jide Ajayi, said traditional institutions have a vital role to play in harnessing opportunities in information technology for sustainable economic growth. He added that people-oriented policies, programs in consultation with stakeholders and under the supervision of the Federal Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy have been adopted, some of which include the National Adopted Village for Smart Agriculture, NAFSA, the National Adopted Village for Smart Education, NAFSI, digital literacy, capacity training for people with disabilities, issuance of Nigerian data protection regulations, NDPR, building community of IT, development of state IT policies, and host of others. He further said that to achieve the target, Nitda has developed strategic roadmap and action plan SERAP 2021 to 2024 that will provide direction for the agency to work with.
Our aspiration is to be an organization closer to the stakeholders. We are also increasingly becoming a process-driven, data-dependent, and results-oriented organization.
He called on all stakeholders to avail themselves the opportunity to express their views and opinions on matters relating to the agency's implementation of its mandate. The Kano State government have directed the Senior Special Assistant on ICT and e-government to come up with a comprehensive plan to propose policy intervention in the form of a digital services strategy for the entire civil service. Juliet Dengiwa, reporting for Nitda Impact.
This is Nitda Impact, your guide to a digital Nigeria.
From the National Information Technology Development Agency, Nitda.
This is Nitda Impact,
fostering IT development and effective regulation in Nigeria.
This is Nitda Impact, your guide to a digital Nigeria.
Time now for Nitda's cybersecurity updates.
In this week's edition of Cybersecurity Updates, we are focusing on data privacy and how to keep your personal information and data secure. I am Mansur Aliyu Hassan and thank you for joining us. Here are some data privacy best practices to implement. Use of strong passwords. When creating a password, it's best not to use words or numbers that could be guessed or figured out easily, like your birthday or phone number. choose combinations of lower and uppercase letters, numbers and symbols and change them periodically. It's also better to create a unique password instead of using the same password across the multiple sites. Don't overshare on social media. Putting up too much of information on social media can endanger an individual and put them at risk. Always set and check your privacy settings to limit and be aware of those who are viewing your posts. Take note data privacy while installing app. Ensure to always read and understand desktop or mobile apps privacy policies before installing or granting permissions on your device. And also avoid permitting any app to access your personal data on your device. Be cautious when using free Wi-Fi. Using a free public Wi-Fi can expose one's privacy, as most free public Wi-Fi networks have very few security measures in place, which means others using the same network will easily access your activity. Watch out for links and attachments. Individuals should avoid clicking on links in emails and text messages, especially from unknown senders, and also look out for spelling errors while taking a critical look at the email sender. Certain things like spelling errors can be a clue that the email is a phishing scam. Check to see if the site is secure. Before entering personal information into your website, always ensure that the URL of the website has a HTTPS, a log symbol on top of the browser. Always look out for the privacy policy and a contact information. Add additional layer of protection like installing antivirus software, anti-spyware software and firewall. Always keep application and software up to date. That's all we have for you this week. Stay tuned for more updates. Thank you.
This is Nitda Impact, your guide to a digital Nigeria.
This week's special report is on Nitda, powering the new year with a renewed zeal regarding IT training for people living with special needs.
The digital economy presents us the perfect opportunity to ensure equality among people living with disabilities, or preferably people living with special needs. This is because people living with special needs can develop skills that can fit into their sedentary lifestyles and based on their specific capabilities given the magnitude of their disability. One of the core pillars of the National Digital Economy Policy and Strategy is digital literacy and skills by providing policy backing for massive training of Nigerians from all walks of life in order to enable them obtain digital literacy and other digital skills. This pillar will also facilitate the training of Nigerians. One policy objective under the digital literacy and skills pillar is to ensure the digital skills training program incorporates children, women, internally displaced persons, and the physically challenged. Nitda itself has a set mandate that specifically deals with training IT awareness and ensuring universal access in order to promote IT diffusion in all sectors of our national life. This is why Nitda is extending capacity development training program to people living with special needs in order to promote the digital inclusion policy of Nitda among people who fall into this demographic definition. A key vision of the Honorable Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, FNCS, FBCS, FIIM, is to have an entire citizenry that is empowered through information technologies with the development of a critical mass of IT proficient and globally competitive manpower. As of 2020, there were an estimated 27 million people living with some form of disability in Nigeria, with the 5 most common types of disabilities being visual impairment, hearing impairment, physical impairment, intellectual impairment, and communication impairment. Empowering persons living with disabilities is important for inclusive, equitable, and sustainable skills as envisaged in the National Digital Economy Policy and Strategy of the Federal Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, which pledges to, quote, leave no one behind, unquote. The Capacity Development Program is an annual program for persons living with disabilities, PLWDs, with this edition scheduled for South Nigeria, taking place in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. The program is open to all Nigerians that are living with any form of disability residing within the South. It would focus on clusters of persons living with hearing and or speech impairment, persons living with visual impairment, and the physically challenged persons. persons. The objectives of the training and empowerment are to facilitate and enhance digital inclusion among the participants, to enable participants become competent in innovatively employing tools of technology to enhance living and in discharge of their job requirements, to give effect to the implementation of the Strategic Roadmap and Action Plan (SRAP) initiatives focusing on digital literacy, digital innovation, and entrepreneurship, give an insight to a series of IT tools that implicitly support creative and innovative learning, and to enhance participants' digital literacy, internet research skills, and presentation skills. The expected outcomes at the end of the training are empowerment with working tools and digital devices, and they should be able to use IT in creating sustainable employment. 30 participants living with disabilities will be empowered with digital tools. Enable persons living with disability become self-reliant after the digital empowerment, and raise the number of digitally proficient individuals in Nigeria. The imperative for training people with special needs is further reinforced not only by the fact that it leads to economic emancipation and self-reliance, but by the greater fact that people living with special needs have the innovativeness and technological savvy to contribute tremendously to the growth of the digital economy and to innovate at the highest level of global technology. Many people living with disabilities have gone on to contribute to technology and change our world. One of them is Steve Hawking, the highly celebrated physicist. The life of Professor Stephen William Hawking, CHCBE FRS FRSA, is such an inspiring story that tells us that disability is merely an obstacle to be surmounted. Steve was an English theoretical physicist, cosmologist, and author who was director of research at the Center of Theoretical Cosmology at the University of Cambridge. Hawking was still able to make incredible contributions to the field of physics and cosmology in areas such as origins of the universe, the Big Bang Theory, gravitational and space-time singularities, black hole radiation, a universe without space-time boundaries, the high likelihood of existence of extraterrestrial life. There are many Stevens in Nigeria, and Nitda hopes to find and empower all of them.
This is Nitda Impact, your guide to a digital Nigeria.
On our tech tip for today, a tip on how to back up your files. Whether you are taking your laptop on holiday or staying at home with your faithful desktop this faithful season, don't forget to back up your precious documents on all your devices.
This is Nitda Impact, your guide to a digital Nigeria.
Up next is Innovation Hub.
My name is Richard Okoko, and I'm the founder of Alpha Life Agent. Alpha Life Agent is an online platform for hiring professionally trained live chat agents for your business websites to help you chat with your website visitors and also generate leads for your business. Alpha Life Agent is helping the employment ecosystem because we are focusing on recruiting and training youths, both male and females, to be a professional live chat agent that can work for any enterprise globally. But we are giving priority to females before males, as this subscribes to UN Sustainable Development Goals 5 of gender equality. I will say Nitda is one of the best agencies that have been put in place to help foster exposure and growth in the entrepreneurship ecosystem in Nigeria, which is what we need right now. Nitda has impacted Alpha Life Agents through the platform they created. This has enabled Alpha Life Agents to network and partner with other like-minded entrepreneurs in the ecosystem or scattered across the nation. Alpha Life Agents requires financial partners or investors to enable us scale faster, recruit and train a lot of people in hundreds.
This is Nitda Impact, your guide to a digital Nigeria.
The imperative for training people with special needs is further reinforced not only by the fact that it leads to economic emancipation and self-reliance, but by the greater fact that people living with special needs have the innovativeness and technological savvy to contribute tremendously to the growth of the digital economy and to innovate at the highest level of the global technology. To learn more on how you can benefit from our activities, kindly log on to our website at www.nitda.gov.ng or all our social media handles displayed right on your screen. Until we come your way next time, our special appreciation goes to the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Pantami, the Director General of Nitda, Kashifu Inuwa, CCIE, and the entire management and staff of Nitda for this program. I am King Yose Wabuke. Thanks for watching.